Don't know what happened, but apparently something went wrong. Maybe my hard disk is full. That could be. I think I forgot to remove the last game from my hard disk. But we're up to 30 again, so maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So getting some really nice damage done to the minions here. You can wipe out the whole minion wave before his minion wave even comes close to it. And yeah, going back home to shop. 3000 gold. Should be a nice shopping trip. Probably going for something, yeah, I wanted to say super offensive, but of course defensive. Yeah, he didn't have anything yet. No, he goes for something completely defensive. I thought he would go for something like the Infinity Edge, or, well, something like that. Because that's what we normally see. But, yeah. Guess the extra movement speed is always nice, and, well, the magic resist. I don't know why he needs it, but sure. Because he doesn't seem to be in any trouble of getting killed. I haven't seen him get low even. And since he's 5-0, he hasn't been killed yet. I guess he wants to avoid getting killed altogether. But we will probably see defensive items on everyone. Well, Rumble is now building his defensive item. And Ash has, well, already has 3 defensive items. A Negatron Cloak and 2 Doran's Blades. Well, Doran's Blades only defensive because of the 100 health they give. So not a really hardcore defensive item. Yeah, GangPlank, as we saw, has Force of Nature, also has some additional health from his Trinity Force. And has some armor from his Rigorous Lantern. Then on Curtis we see some additional health from Haunting Guys, and well, he started off with the Doran Shield. I know I got some criticism well, a while back for going Doran Shield on Ash, but here you see that I'm definitely not the only one doing that. Getting a Doran Shield on a carry is actually really good. So actually dying the first time there, they do get 2 kills in return. But I guess a little overextended, away from his team, and got a little too confident in being able to kill everyone. But at 19-6, I guess you can get killed. Doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, his Force of Nature coming in real handy there, because it was really useful to be able to absorb so much damage so that your team can actually join up and help you get the 2 kills. So on the Soraka, well, she is a healer, so she doesn't really need defensive items, because she is the defensive item. But she does have 100 health from Doran's Ring. So I guess that's somewhat of a defensive something. But Soraka, yeah, she is a healer, as I said. So she has as much HP as she possibly can. And she doesn't need to be in the front line, so she never takes damage. The only way she takes damage is if she gets ganked, but yeah, if you position yourself correctly, that'll never happen. Or almost never. And that's why she's 2-0-8. So Heimerdinger then. Heimerdinger has Philosopher's Stone. He had 2, but only 1 now. And Rod of Ages, which is also a defensive item. While Mordekaiser has Let's log this in. As the Heart of Gold, and then the Mercury Threads, and then Cloth Armor, and then Sunfire Cape. So a whole lot of really good defensive items, even though he is building into an offensive build. Oh, that wasn't really necessary. He could just walk out. So going again for blue buff, and I'm rounding off everyone here. So 200 extra health for Janna, and Janna also being a support, so doesn't really need too much defensive items. 2 Philosopher's Stones and a Heart of Gold, basically because of the gold per 5, all of these, but also because, well, they give you some defensive stats, which is good. Singed, the Heart of Gold, Philosopher's Stone, Mercury Threads, a Thorn Mail, and a Banshee's Veil. So all of these are defensive items. And yeah, it may even be a little bit too much, because, well, as you can see, 1-4, he doesn't really get the damage done. So, yeah, my computer really did have some hard disk trouble there. So my hard disk was actually full, and we had to redo this last part. Haven't seen it, obviously, so we're just stepping in where I just left off, which is in about 5 seconds from now. And here we go once again. So the last champion, I was discussing the champions and the defensive items they got. And I think this game's almost over. So the last one would be Warwick, and Warwick actually has some armor, some magic resist, and then extra magic resist, extra armor, and, well, health. So all of his items are also defensive. And as we can see, that is basically the build, where we see in the low ELO that everyone takes offensive items and nobody takes defensive items. Here you see that everybody takes defensive items, and only 2 of the team actually take real offensive items, so a full offensive build. The rest takes kind of the semi build. So you build offensive items that are also defensive or something like that. Because if you go full out offensive and you walk in the jungle like this and you're going to meet someone from the enemy team, you're going to get killed basically. And nobody wants that. So the cube are now doing so much damage when it crits that it's not even funny anymore. And it is real easy to get some kills with it. I mean, it's, let's say, to 380 damage, and you can double that basically when you crit. And he has a crit chance of 17%, so that's 1 in every 7 or so. Basically a good chance that you will actually do double damage. So GangPlank is going for Baron apparently, together with Karthus and Rumble. Should be easy enough because all 3 of them have high damage and also a decent amount of life. Oh, Ash came in to fire some arrows as well. And the enemy team is still fighting off the super minions. There's nothing they can do, obviously. They probably don't even have a ward there, because they know there's nothing they can do. Because, well, the enemy team is just so much stronger. So minion kill wise, as we can see, Ash is actually falling a little behind on the rest. About 50 minion kills, which is a huge deal. And then on the enemy team we see the same, but then for Warwick. And I guess, well, Singed is having some trouble farming because he gets killed all the time. Well, the same goes for Warwick, but Yeah, it is kind of hard to farm when, well, you're being owned by your laning opponents. So this game is basically over. I mean, the 2 turrets are down, and there's nothing they can do. They can still hope for some miracle, but it's not going to come. So, jungle GangPlank. I think it's kind of a different build, but it definitely works. I mean, we saw that here. And I thought it was a good game. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you want more of these kind of games. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time. Choo choo.